it's one of the most important things that you and I will ever do. And in fact, a lack of good, healthy sleep can be the reason for many mental health disorders and also cause a lot of other physical problems in our life, right?
Big
so I know
time.
you're passionate about this and you teach proper sleep, which I'm so glad you do, in your Surge program. So tell us about sleep and why it's so important, Dr. Stoyer.
In a quick nutshell, I am not the best sleeper, right? I never used to be. I used to pride myself in the fact that I could sleep 3 hours a night or 4 hours a night. And I'd go in and see patients and say, hooray, I only slept a little bit of time because my body didn't need it.
Well, and doctors have done that. They've
Yes.
patted themselves on the back saying, you know, I was up all night for 2 days in the ER and never slept. And yet now we're finding that is
Devastating.
terrible.
Terrible
And
for
Americans
the body.
shouldn't live with that pat on the back thinking I only need 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night because
That's right.
it causes other problems.
And ironically, the other end of the spectrum is the opposite. So people that say, oh, I'd like to sleep 9 hours or 10 hours if I can every night. Interesting piece of science. That piece on the other end, whether you're a limited sleep or a lot of sleep, are identical to the body. You're going to have a roughly 2x increase in the amount of inflammatory proteins that you get, like C-reactive protein and other stuff, 2 times. So the key is to be moderate, and it's a roughly 7 hours of sleep, 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. We've heard that from moms, from grandmas, everyone tells us, and it's absolutely true scientifically. So that's critical. But it's simple little things. For instance, here's something that if someone suffers from that kind of midriff gain, right, the little bit of weight gain, not sleeping, I'm right there.
Yeah.
Not sleeping that moderate amount of time causes an increase in cortisol release. That cortisol is a primary factor in mid-weight gain.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
if you
Good
want to
know.
give yourself a little boost or shot in the arm and you say, hey, I'd really like to start off a new year or start off a program correctly, give yourself adequate sleep.
Well, and
Critical.
I know that when people don't sleep enough, then they do end up eating an extra meal a day in calories generally just to keep the body going. So lots of reasons for weight that you would get the right amount of sleep. but
Absolutely,
also
and it's
just-
interesting because it's tied to neurotransmitters.
Mm-hmm.
So people have this idea that, well, you know, if I'm not sleeping enough, then I'm going to stay up longer, so I'm going to eat more food. That's true. But what happens is your neurochemistry literally changes. And because of that, the levels in chemistry shift, and the brain is then telling you, you're going to be hungry, so let's go ahead and eat some more food. We're going to go into that in detail. This is one of my favorite things to talk about in the SurgePlan because it ties into your specialty, which is emotions.
Emotions, right, because we do, and this is, I don't think it's rocket science actually. Do you remember having a 2-year-old and then the 2-year-old didn't get, their nap and how they behave?
Then mom didn't get the nap either.
And then mom didn't get the nap, and then how irritable you get. I mean, it's really common sense. We don't get the sleep that we need. We don't handle our relationships well. We can be less emotionally intelligent. And certainly we may not feel as good about ourselves, so that can lead on down a trail that we don't necessarily want to go. So I love that you're talking about sleep in the SurgePlan, and you can learn more about emotions and sleep with me and the Emotions Mentor Program.
Thank you.